Now it's
Yes.
going live,
Yes.
but it's gonna appear in the news, I guess.
I think it's live, guys. I'm going to mute myself. Have fun.
Are we live?
Yes.
We should
Now we
probably
are.
do something.
We are. We are. We are.
We should talk to the people.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It is.
I don't see, but I believe.
It's in the news. Now it's in the news feed.
Is
it?
Yeah. Now this is going on the news feed.
Of your page?
Oh, I see it. I see it.
Yeah.
Yay, there we are. Yes. All right, to anybody that hung in there, thank you. We had some technical issues. Yes. Yay, everybody's writing in. We can see you. Hi, Aviva. Hi, Catherine. Hola, Umberto. Thank you for being patient. There's some very nice patient people out there. We're good.
Yeah, Aviva.
Yes.
Umberto in Portugal, sorry. The guy Umberto already had his warm milk. He's already in bed with his little,
No, Umberto, you need to go drink a couple of espressos.
So, but that's not Otmaro's page. That's Otmaro's profile.
Yeah.
Whatever
it is, it doesn't matter. There's
so,
people
Katrina,
watching.
please share it on Otmaro's page because I think people are going to look for it.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna share it on my page. Thank you very much. ESSêNCIA CD listening party. What a party! Hey.
2020. Yeah. Bruno, you need to put in your headphones, please, my love. Headphones. You know what? You are too fancy for me.
Sorry, yeah.
Too fancy.
It's the level of technology in Brazil is much higher than you think.
Well, let me see. Well, Catherine Kubi is here with us. Catherine is a great musician and super friend. Aviva, of course. Umberto Santos.
We love Aviva.
Umberto Santos is my friend when I was this big. We were friends since that age. And he lives in Portugal. He's making sure that I have
Portugal. Oh my Lord.
yeah. So, but
wow.
Listen, everybody, thank you for your patience. It's been really nerve-wracking. I'm not a tech savvy person, so I beg for your patience. And but it's my pleasure. I hear some noise. I think, what is that noise? Is that someone's microphone?
It's probably
my
some
stomach.
model.
I didn't have
dinner. No, it's like a microphone. Well, it's my pleasure to introduce you to two of my best friends and music colleagues. Unfortunately, they couldn't be here today, so I had to invite. You see, that always works.
Where's my drum kit? I need to do a rim shot.
No, ladies and gentlemen, this is, what's your name again? Bruno Mangueira, great guitar player from Brazil. And I couldn't think of anybody else like better for this to spend time with us than Adrianne Duncan. And I'm going to talk about her a little later, but I want to say hello to them and let them speak.
Now, somebody needs to mute something. I can hear the Facebook stream.
It was my cell phone. It's now good.
Bruno, of course it was you.
Yeah.
All right. So should I start Should I start running the show, conducting this thing?
Well, first of all, Mark Isbell also joined.
Nice.
Angelo Metz, Mark is a great musician. Angelo Metz, great guitar player. Watch out, Bruno. Don't make any mistakes on the recording. It's already too late.
Yeah, fortunately, I'm not playing. Adriana, my friend, great pianist, is here.
Yeah.
And
Estrella
happy
Costa.
birthday, Angelo, right?
Nice.
Happy birthday, Angelo.
Yeah, happy belated birthday. Yeah. That's the voice of God, because we don't know where this voice came from. I don't really know. What voice was that? I don't know. I don't know. But we have all those friends. Thank you so much for being here. And Bruno, Adrian, you
Yes.
ladies first. Ladies first.
Yes.
Say hello. And
Well, but should we start talking about the record? Should we start talking about how we met?
I don't know. Well, first of all, why Adrian? Why I pick Adrian?
Why am I here? Why am I even here?
I didn't pick Bruno. Believe me, I didn't pick Bruno. But hey, things happen. But I did pick Adrian. Adrian has been. Adrian is a wonderful pianist whom I respect very highly as a pianist, as a singer, as an actress, which are all like things that interest me a lot. And of course my my page just vanished all of a sudden. But Adrian and me, we go back many years, common interests, and she's an ultra fun person to talk to and to talk about music and to get really deep into music or anything else. And she was there when I met Bruno. Actually, she was
That's
there.
Right.
Yeah,
we were all together.
Yeah.
There we are.
You see?
There we are in Brazil in 2017.
It is magic. How is this? I mean, does my computer know what I'm thinking? I don't know how this.
No, Bruno's doing it from Brazil.
Yeah, I don't know how
these
these
images
images
are
are
implanted.
How are these images getting here? Yeah, but see, people, that is the first time we all met with Bruno.
No,
we did
Otmaro,
this.
you are incorrect.
No, Otmaro, that's not.
No.
Well, yeah, but that's when Adrian went to Brazil with us.
Yes.
And we actually performed together. But I want to let Adrian tell the story.
Oh, there we are again. That is at the club Tupi or not Tupi, which doesn't mean what Americans think it means. It means something else. It's a tribe, right, Bruno? The Tupi, aren't they a tribe in Brazil?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. So it's spelled Tupi. So it's a very clever pun. So we all played. So this is from the Lado Bay Brazilian project.
Also a language.
Oh, it's a language as well?
Yeah.
Nice. So there we all are. So you can see OT and Katina and me and Bruno in the back and some other wonderful Brazilian musicians. That was an amazing tour. But we all met. So OT and I have known each other for a long time. Katina and I have known each other for a long time. But OT and I met Bruno at Vibrato in 2017. And then Bruno, you played some of your material. Ah, look, that's our prom photo. That's our engagement. That's in Campinas at Companhia Sarau, right?
Yeah.
Did I say it right? That's
wow.
Beautiful place.
Adrian, cool. I mean, your memory is like no ginkgo biloba for you.
I loved that place. This place, for people that don't know, this is a beautiful. Well, actually, Bruno, you should explain what this is. It's a house that got turned into a concert hall. Correct. I mean, basically.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes, it's our great friend Tucum's house, and it's a very small music hall.
Yes.
But we got a music hall. It's not a music hall.
Yeah, music hall. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
a
it's
little
very
concert
small.
venue.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and it has this great intimate mood, and where you can really feel the audience, and the interaction with people is great, and it's one of the plays that I most like to play at.
Yes.
In Campinas. Plus,
Yes.
it has become a major cultural venue. Just like
Yeah,
very, I mean, like it's dedicated to high cultural acts. Yeah, and
Yes.
it's incredible that it's basically a private initiative from Tukun. From this
Mhm.
guy that is the most intelligent guy and the funniest guy I've ever met.
yeah, it's
Both
amazing.
intelligence, both intelligence and wits all together, like in the
Yes.
same
Yes.
person.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but Bruno. I mean, I have to set the record straight. Adrian and we met Bruno here at Vibrato, as you said.
Yes.
It was a
No,
night that
actually, I met you at your place
well, of course, okay, yes.
a few days
Actually,
before meeting her.
okay. Actually, I met you at the airport. How's that? Top that. But here, that's a night that I will never forget. It's a night that I never forget because we were going to play at Vibrato, and it was one of those rare nights in which it was like a heavenly flood, like a biblical flood. It was it
That's
was raining. It
right.
was raining so bad, and Bruno borrowed my guitar, and then we play the concert. Everything went super well, and this is a guitar that has never left my house. That guitar has never left my studio. And then I gave it to Bruno. It's like, yeah, just use it for. And then we come out of the venue after the concert, and it's pouring rain. Like a total catastrophe in California for California standards. And then, we are there in the parking lot, waiting for the cars. And then we go to a diner. It was like 2, 3 in the morning. We're at the diner. And then we are having our little soup. And then Bruno says, "Where's the guitar?"
And that was the night you were supposed to leave the next day.
That's right.
Yeah. And my face almost like melted. I think it go all the way down here. My face was like, "You don't have the guitar with you?" No, it's like I don't. And it was, and the last time that I remember is us in the parking lot with the guitar and the rain. So how to forget that night?
Yes. It all worked out. It all worked out.
It all worked out. Yeah,
all
now I have a underwater guitar, but it's okay.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Slightly swollen wood.
What a great memory.
Yeah.
Lovely memory.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, that was a great concert, and I personally got to. Katina had told me about Bruno for a long time, about how great he was, and actually, Katina is not the only one who says he's great. He says he's great, which is like, just kidding. I'm saving all these bad jokes.
Bruno, he
No.
just insulted you, but then he took it back.
But listen, but serious. Katina had told me how great he was, and I had his albums. But it wasn't until we played that night, and this is honest to God, that I saw for the first time in my life a guitar player with a legit technique, because that's something that I went through for many years, so I can recognize a good technique for both the classical and the jazz thing, but also side reading all this stuff. And I was like, wow, this guy is not the usual. Not only that, I mean, he was side reading, and then in the back of my mind, I was like, well, I'm sure the soloing is gonna be so. And then he kicked ass soloing, and then immediately it went like this little bulb, light bulb went like ping. Katina looked at me and said, "Man, you guys have to do something together at some point." And then, you know, fast forward to 2019, and then here we are.
And ESSêNCIA was born
Yes.
in a home
I
studio in
thought-
Santa Clarita, California.
Yeah, I thought I wouldn't escape alive from that after that event. But yeah, here we are.
You
Well,
wouldn't have if you didn't get the guitar back, but you got the guitar back.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but the
Otherwise,
guitar,
you'd
the
be buried in
guitar,
a shallow grave.
but the
in
guitar
OT's
was
backyard.
found after I left.
We were in Mulholland.
Oh,
by the
that's
way.
right.
We were somewhere in Mulholland. It would have been so easy to conceal that corpse.
Oh, just right over the guardrail. Just join all the other bodies.
Oh, Magro is there.
Join all the other unsolved crimes. Well, so should we talk about? We should talk about this record, you guys. We should listen
Well,
to the records. Don't you think?
I haven't. Have you, Bruno?
No, I saw it on Spotify.
It's there, right?
It's there. Actually, it's the only place it is because the CD factory closed.
Yeah, it was the most carefully studied CD release in history. The scheduling was like, here it is, boom, pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I remember we released the album and we were waiting to get the physical copies right when the lockdown started. Those same days. And then the guy said, listen, the factories are closed. Thank you. That was it.
Yeah.
So you know, we it's one of those things that we have had to pretty much curate on our own and kind of like keep the ball rolling on our own, because also all the promotion and all the traditional ways of getting the album out, they were like totally on a freeze mode,
Yeah.
But talking about the album, it was, first of all, when we play before we recorded, I went to Brazil and we did a series of concerts, of which we actually did Tucum too. It was a great series of concerts, and then we were kind of testing all this different material, because Bruno has amazing tunes, I have some tunes, and then we had some other covers, but we wanted to do something really special. We could have called a bass player and a drummer, and then we went like, no, what if we keep things like in a more intimate setting? And so that first round of concerts gave us an idea of what we could do, but it was not quite perfected yet in terms of the arrangements, because it was very little time to put it together. But it gave us a glimpse of what it could be, And then we basically convinced him to take a little time off from his travel to Cincinnati. He was going to do some activities in Cincinnati, and he came to our studio here. And so we, in a more careful fashion, we went through filtering all these different tunes and really applying more arranging for the duet, which is, it's not the same, when you have, just a piano, then a guy just comping for you, or vice versa, the guy play. There's a choreography that has to be met when you do arrangements for a duet. So
Yeah.
that's basically what we did. And maybe I would like Bruno to have some input.
Well, and Bruno too, you might want to summarize some of that or talk about your perspective a little bit in Portuguese, because we have our Brazilian audience.
Okay. About the recording, you mean?
Whatever you like, but yes, yeah, maybe like your side of the story.
Yes. Em português?
Sure, go for it.
Yeah.
Tudo bem, então vamos lá falar. meus amigos que falam português. Pois é, a gente se conheceu em 2017 e através da Catina, né, que é uma amiga de muitos e muitos anos, que depois se mudou para os Estados Unidos, e aí fizemos essas apresentações juntos. E lá pelas tantas pintou esse show para a gente fazer em duo, né? A maioria das apresentações que a gente fez, todas as apresentações que a gente tinha feito até então tinham sido em grupos. E aí essa quase que por acaso, assim, a gente no meio de uma turnê com alguns shows no estado de São Paulo, pintou essa apresentação em duo para a gente fazer na Companhia Sarau, em Campinas, que é um lugar especialíssimo. E aí veio a ideia da gente fazer esse disco, né? Fazer essa gravação. Isso foi em 2018, né? Essa apresentação em duo. E no ano seguinte eu já iria, como o Otmaro falou aí, fazer esses shows em Cincinnati, né? Eu ia lançar o CD lá com outro pianista, com o Phil Greg. E aí armamos essa gravação aí no estúdio dele, em Los Angeles. E foi assim, a gente planejou fazer um monte de coisa com antecedência, à distância, né? E planejando os arranjos para poder chegar lá e tá tudo pronto. Obviamente não aconteceu nada disso, então foi uma pressão danada, porque a gente tinha uma semana assim para ensaiar e gravar, ainda tinha um show para a gente fazer lá. Então foi assim, foram dias que eu dormi muito pouco, porque era muita música difícil para poder dar conta ali, né, na gravação, né, e a gente com super cuidado para sair tudo certinho. Mas felizmente chegamos no final e fizemos um disco que deixou a gente muito feliz. Eu particularmente fico muito orgulhoso com esse trabalho aí, que é o mais recente. So do you want me to say anything in English? I'm saying,
Well,
not sure
well,
who
yeah.
speaks
Well,
Portuguese.
actually,
Bruno.
there's a comment. There's a comment from our friend Mark Isbell, and he has a point, a very important point. He says, "Bruno, your Portuguese is amazing."
Yeah, man, it's
Yes,
I've been
yeah,
practicing a lot
yeah.
since I came back.
There's
My
Ramon Huerta, your engineer.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
here in the screen,
Ramon.
we have Ramon Huerta,
Yes.
and
Ramon
There's
is online.
Charlie,
that's our
his
guardian.
assistants. Yes.
Our guardian, yeah, making
And
sure that nobody.
This is your beautiful home studio. So
Yeah,
we'll note this fantastic isolation booth, beautiful grand piano. You have a nice Rhodes back there, it looks like, and
yeah,
beautiful equipment. There's OT playing. So this is a fabulous home studio that also created a Grammy-nominated record, Lotto Bay Brazilian Project in 2016.
yeah.
So
Well,
pretty fantastic.
as as many people still have the notion of a professional studio, the old-fashioned idea of this big studios where, of course you can record orchestras and stuff, but technology has been changing, and nowadays basically technology is there for everybody, for grabs, and you can actually do a world-class recording if you have the right ears. Of course, I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about the people that collaborates, as engineers like Ramon or like Jimmy Brownlee that did the mixing and the mastering. People with great ears, if you give them like a good microphone and a room that is being decently treated, that's all that it takes. So yeah, indeed, we have done several projects that have been nominated for Grammys here in this little studio.
Well, you also need great material and great players. And this record has them both, because the real reason that I am here, which OT will not say, but is that I am a fangirl complete obsessed fan of both of these guys. I know their material inside and out. OT, how many concerts of yours have I been to? And Bruno, your CDs, when you gave me those 2 CDs that you burned, remember when I met you?
Sure.
Yeah, they broke my CD player in my car. They got stuck in because I played them so much. I would just play them over and over and over, and then my car will not spit it out. So this is literally the only CDs I can listen to.
Martinho.
There's a wonderful father-in-law.
That is
My Portuguese, my Brazilian daddy.
Yeah, my father-in-law. He's a body double for Christopher Plummer, as you can see. Actually, he's more handsome than Christopher Plummer. Come on. And that was when we did our first concert as ESSêNCIA, right after we finished the tracking.
Yeah, just
right. At Sam first.
Justo cuando terminamos el tracking del disco, fuimos directamente a tocar y a ponerlo en práctica en este club Sam First. But I have to say also, my friend from school is here from when I was this size. My friend from school is here, Diana Lomer. Thank you, Diana, for being with us. Muchas gracias por estar con nosotros acá. And Bruno, there's a story I never told you about how the day I met Adrianne. The day I met Adrianne, I was part of a band, of a house band that was backing several singers. It was an event for singers. And then every singer brought their material, like 4 songs each. So we had to be like kind of like side reading everything, and all the styles like alternative rock and jazz and pop and this. And then here comes Adrianne. It's the first time that I saw her. Then, she's there on stage, and I'm getting in position. I'm gonna make sure that I get the charge from her. I said, excuse me, I'm the piano player. I wanted to see if you have any charge for me. And she goes like, I don't need no stinking piano player.
That's not.
I play the piano myself. Shoot.
I did not phrase it that way.
I remember clearly she went like with the finger, like follow the finger.
No, I did not. No, I went like this.
No, she's that good. I remember because she was the only singer that didn't need a piano player in that concert, and she kicked ass. And I remember that same day, I promised her my forever loyalty as a fan. Yeah, it's been like that. I remember I told you, wow, your voice, whatever, your way of playing, it was exquisite. So that's how much admiration I have for this lady.
Well, this is a mutual admiration society then, because both of you guys and this record, and most importantly to me on this record, because we have to get through the record. We have to listen to the record.
Yes, I was thinking.
This record to me, because obviously both of you guys are world-class virtuosos at your instruments. Obviously you are, but you're composers of such a high level. And this is the first track on the record, Acordando, which means
it started magically.
Magic. I thought it. I have the GPS.
You thought about it and started. See?
That's right. But for me, well, here, let's listen for a little bit, and then I'll talk about what I think. We have to move so Facebook doesn't cut us off.
We have to keep something moving.
Should I dance?
Yeah.
is, what I find so special about it. I mean, just in general, both of you guys draw from such a rich harmonic vocabulary and such huge rhythmic and stylistic, influences and abilities. But in general, with all of your compositions, what really impresses me the most as a songwriter and a composer myself, everything is so melodic and so lyrical. And that's not necessarily always the case with instrumental composers, because there's no lyrics to this as far as I know, OT, right? There's no lyrics to this yet?
Actually, now that you mention it, I wrote this. You know who I wrote this song for? To be sung, right?
I know, for me, I know. No, who was it for?
Do you have an idea who I wrote this song? I wanted certain person to sing this in Portuguese.
Oh, well, of course I know who that was.
Yeah,
me, because
a certain little. Yeah, but taking the opportunity of having this this project, I turned it into an instrumental because the melody yields. It's eventful.
We can still keep listening to it, I think, on a low level, because it's such a beautiful tune. Oh, there it is. I did it from my mind.
I want to say something. When the music started, I just remembered my impression. I was really, really afraid of the result of the mix of the volumes of guitar and piano, because it's always hard to find it. And I'm seeing Jim Brantley's here. Jim Brantley, I love him.
Yeah.
Genius.
When I heard
Jimmy,
I remember
human.
first time when I heard the mix, and I said, it's perfect. I just love the balance of guitar and piano and the reverbs and everything, but especially the volumes. It's just perfect.
Well, that's because Jimmy Brantley is an artist and a genius.
Yeah, I see.
Yes.
That's why it's so good.
Yeah.
Because that's not an easy thing to do. And guitar and piano, obviously they live in sort of the same, sonic realm, and they do fight. And that's what's such a brilliant thing about the record too, just as far as compositionally, arrangement-wise, and the way you guys play together. Because it's very hard to play just as a duo anyway, but with two instruments that are kind of occupying the same territory, very, very difficult. But you guys are just have this mind meld on this record as players, and then also in the way that you chose to give, you would kind of trade back and forth. We can talk about that when we come to some different tunes. But one of you would do the intro for the other person's composition and vice versa, which I think was just so lovely and so beautiful. And this composition too, I mean, that's the thing. This record to me is just very balanced. And this composition in particular, which if there are any voting members of the Academy out there, I believe this particular composition is going to show up for Best Instrumental Jazz Composition. So just putting it out there, just be aware. But there's such an interesting balance between that kind of really watery, kind of very ethereal intro, and then it goes into very upbeat, jaunty, you have that walking left hand. And then it goes to that kind of watery sound again, which I just love compositionally and texture-wise.
Thank you.
I think it's just beautiful.
Wow. Well, that's quite the analysis. One thing that I can say, since you know me for a long time, Adrianne, is I believe firmly that one of the things that have been lost from jazz in general in the last years is the sense of melodic development. Yeah. And for the longest time, jazz projects become just vehicles for people to start improvising, and the compositions and the melodies are just like secondary. So, and I'm in that sense, I'm very old-fashioned. I'm a sucker for melody, harmony kind of thing, and consonants. If something's gonna be dissonant, it has to have the right amount of consonants to to back it up, and vice
Yes.
versa. So
Yes.
so that's probably why everything that I do, and the kind of associations with musicians in my professional life are always people that regard melody and composition in composition. So like Bruno's tunes
Well,
are just
Bruno
like,
does the exact same thing. I mean,
Yeah.
Bruno and Ramela, they're so lyrical and so melodic, which is not, like I said, not necessarily the case for instrumental compositions. It's just not, and they're very rangy, and they would be challenging to sing, melodically. But I was going to talk about that when we get to some of the other tunes. The way they're written is a bit different. You sort of have to follow them down their own path, But
Yeah.
but so melodic. The melody in a lot of other instrumental compositions I find is really secondary, but not for you guys at all. All right, so
Yeah.
that is
Thank you,
accordando.
Adrian.
what yeah, one more thing that of course we mentioned, our friend Jimmy Bradley, which,
Yes.
as you know, as we said, is not only an amazing drummer and musician, bass player and keyboardist, but also the greatest ears in the business right now in terms of
Yeah.
mixing and mastering.
No question.
But we also mentioned at the very beginning Ramon Huerta, because Ramon was the one that actually captured
Yes.
the sessions, and we saw him very briefly in one of those little home videos. Not only great ears, and not only the greatest vibe, because when you're tracking, there's a lot of emotions going on, and there's a lot of anxiety going on, and you need someone like Ramon to keep things always.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I think it's super important, and so I think you're gonna see Ramon there at some point. Well, here I'm chopping my hand there because I didn't like my solo, but that's Ramon. See, he's seeing me chopping my hand, and he's just letting me do it because he knows that it's just anxiety. Actually, he's grabbing a hammer just to make
In
sure
solidarity.
Yeah,
Oh,
but so yeah, Ramon had also the greatest input in all this, and yeah, and another thing. I mean, Jimmy. Well, in this project, he was
And
part of
Otmaro, Ramon
Yeah.
gave us very important opinions during the recording as well.
Exactly. I was
Because
gonna say
he's a
that.
composer.
Exactly. I was gonna say that.
Wow.
Usually in my projects, Jimmy is like the voice of God from behind. Sometimes he goes like, "Man, don't do that. Why don't you do this thing?" And I go like, "Really?" And at the beginning I fight it, and then I always end up doing what he says, and it's always right. So in this case, we didn't have Jamie in the tracking, but we had Ramon, which is a super composer, and I made sure to.
It's Ron Tuttle, your piano tech.
Yeah, the only guy that puts his hands on my piano is Ron Tuttle. He likes it the way the way I like it. But Ramon, many times I've said, I've expressed my opinion as a composer, is one of those unsung heroes. I've seen the body of work of Ramon Huerta as a composer is just incredible, and he does his own projects also for his daughter, for Laura Stinser, which is also an amazing flutist that is actually watching right now too. So hey, a big family.
Nice, yes. Well, let's talk about the second track on the record, which is one of yours, Bruno. This is Samba pro Toninho, right? Did I say it right? Did I say samba?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Samba. So let's talk about it for a second in English, and then maybe talk about it a little bit in Portuguese. But you wrote this for Toninho Horta, right?
Yes, and actually, I invited him to record on my first CD,
Yes.
and we're already friends. And so he took advantage of one of his concerts in São Paulo. I was there to stop by and go to the studio record with me. But the thing is, I didn't have a song for him to record. Yeah, I mean, and I called him the weekend before that to ask him, Tony, so what are we recording? Do you want to play one of your songs or something else? He said, no, it's up to you, man. Just let's do one of yours. I said, all right, but I didn't actually have one. So I was teaching. By that time, I was teaching at a school that whose owner would be one of my best friends, Rosa Gomes.
Yes.
And in the middle of a class, I was giving a lesson to somebody, and I had an idea 2 days before the recording, and I said, man, I need some time to write something down before I forget it. So I started writing that song that we would record as a two days later at the studio.
Wow.
And that's I just wrote that song kind of at once. I finished at home, and it came to be one of the songs that many of the musicians with whom I usually play, they like to play, and I love this version with Otmaro as a duo as well.
Oh yeah.
So that's the story behind the song.
Here you are playing at Sam first.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the live concert.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, well, that is something that I do want to talk to both of you guys about as well with the tunes, just the differences. Because again, as I was mentioning before, I'm so familiar with your material, and it's so interesting to hear some of the original versions that were either with the quartets or that were orchestrated, and then hear it in kind of a duo form, and just kind of how the intricacies that you had to get into, arrangementally, but also playing wise. And it's so interesting to hear it in this new framework. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yes, so this and this particular tune too, the samba that we're gonna hear. Wait, this isn't it, is it? No, this isn't it.
No, it is that.
It isn't?
Yes.
Okay. It's the volume's very, very low in my headphones, so I can't really hear it. Okay, nice. Something that I was reading too. So I was reading a review of this on from your original record, and it said that it had like a Minas sound. And I know that Tony.
Oh, I see. My first CD.
Yeah. So I was reading. I read a review that mentioned that it had a Minas sound. Do you agree? And do you want to talk about what that means? Sort of that mineiro sound.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Maybe we can use the track. Maybe we can use the actual track from the record while we talk about it.
Okay, I'm gonna think.
Yeah.
Here, wait. I'm gonna bring up the track.
Try
I'm bringing
to project it. Project it. Let's see. Oh, this doesn't always work.
Okay, wait. We have to think harder. Everybody think.
Okay, think of a card. I don't know.
Yeah, in Minas they have this kind of Baroque mood.
Yeah.
Kind of, and my hometown is in a state it's a neighbor of Minas Gerais. So it's kind of part of my own life, that kind of music. And of course, when I got in contact with Toninho's music, was kind of a great reference for me, and
for many others.
Yeah, many others. So yeah, so it's really kind of tribute for him. But yeah, but actually the one I think that specific composition is not the one that has more Minas Gerais mood. Mm-hmm. I have others that are more Minas oriented than Samba do Toninho.
Yeah.
Well, to me, as an American, that has been to Brazil, but it's just so light and happy, It's just positive, and it just makes me want to dance and be outside. I mean, it's just such a
Yeah, it is.
lovely
But you know what? You know what makes me think of Minas Gerais? It's actually it's as a coincidence. It's something that I love on Otmaro's music. Is the rhythms in six,
Yes.
not in two like that. That's a samba. But I mean those rhythms like
Yeah.
it brings me to Minas Gerais, that kind of South American mood.
Yes.
You know.
As a side thing, I would like to say something that's very, very interesting from Tonino. I don't know if people are familiar, the people that are listening to this broadcast are listening. Actually, I think the volume is a little too high, right, of the music.
What?
I can barely hear myself.
Yeah, it's too high.
It's low for
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
But
yeah. One of the things that Tonino is very funny and amazing about Tonino when he performs. For those of you who don't know him or haven't seen him live, is that as he is playing, maybe Bruno can verify this, confirm this, but as he is playing the tune with his vocal, he has all this in his imagination. He's got all this orchestration going on, right, of inner voices,
Definitely.
inner voices, and so I think is and he would sing like a counter melody that he's imagining happening under his own vocal at the same time. Yeah, so it's one of those things that is like he's a freaking genius.
yes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's just such, but to hear it though, I mean, here's the thing that's really remarkable to me, because you guys, there's no bass player, there's no drummer here, you have no percussion, nothing, but I still have such a rhythmic feel, when it's just the two of you. You guys are still holding that down. I still get that sensibility even without that. So I don't miss it. In other words, I don't miss, the bass and drums. Sorry, Jimmy. But
there's a wonderful phrase, a wonderful quote by no other than Chet Baker. You're gonna love this, Adrian, and you're gonna love this, Bruno. Chet Baker said, "It takes a hell of a drummer to replace no drummer."
Oh, that's so terrible.
Well, I just had to bring it up. Yeah, because some projects, no, I mean, of course, drummers are incredible, and when they're part of the synergy and the organic fabric of the project. But a project like this, once it's calculated, it's like an equation. Once it's calculated, I don't really hear anything else in there. I don't know if Bruno, but I don't even hear like a little shaker. Nothing.
Yeah.
It would be superfluous. It would be like
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Do you want to, Bruno? You want to talk about this? Let's listen to it. Here we go.
I wish
this the one you tried to chop your hand off? No, I'm kidding.
I wish I had. What is the name of that emoticon with the face like, oh my god?
Oh, this, the grimace.
I wish I had that right now because I don't like listening to my solo. I don't know any
What?
musician. I don't like any musician that likes to listen to themselves. Okay, I know one or two that like
fine.
to listen to.
Well, I like listening to you. Bruno, do you want to talk quickly about this one in Portuguese, and then we'll move on?
No, there's Samba pro Toninho again.
No, I know, but do you want to say
Yeah.
something in Portuguese about it?
Oh, in Portuguese, about...
Speak the Portuguese. You got to speak the Portuguese, please.
Ah, tá bom.
Practice.
Yes.
Vamos lá, eu practice a little bit. Então, Samba pro Toninho, bom, vou contar a mesma história em português, né? Vai que alguém não entendeu a outra parte. A história do Samba pro Toninho é o seguinte, no meu primeiro CD, a gente ia gravar, né? Já conhecia o Toninho, já tinha convidado ele para participar do CD, mas ainda não tinha uma música. E foi chegando perto da gravação, não tinha uma música, eu falei com ele, e ele falou, não, vamos fazer uma sua aí e tal. Aí, só que eu não tinha música, e aí eu tava dando aula na Chorus, lá em Campinas, na época, e aí no meio da aula eu tive a ideia dessa música, 2 dias antes da gravação, e aí eu pedi pro aluno, assim, falei, cara, peraí, eu preciso escrever isso aqui rapidinho, para não esquecer. Então, aí ele muito gentilmente falou, não, tudo bem, escreve aí sua ideia. Aí eu escrevi, terminei no mesmo dia em casa, e 2 dias depois a gente gravou meu primeiro CD, gravamos em duo também, né, por coincidência. Depois a gente mesmo gravou umas percussões em cima, e aí ficou o Samba pro Toninho, que agora tive a felicidade de gravar em duo com o Otmaro nesse nosso disco Essência. Diga.
Yo también quería decir algo en español, porque de verdad que yo estoy seguro que hay gente conectada de Venezuela, de Chile, de Argentina, de Centroamérica, y quería darles la bienvenida. Gracias por estar con nosotros. Espero que les esté gustando este conversatorio. Estamos escuchando la música del disco Esencia y contándonos las historias, ¿no? De cómo fueron, cómo se dio todo esto, casi que track por track. Y bueno, gran placer de tenerlos acá con nosotros. Y cualquier pregunta que tengan, cualquier pregunta la pueden hacer, escriban y aprovechen porque esto es completamente interactivo. Aquí podemos responderles acá. Any questions that you might have, please, write us here on the comments, and let's take advantage of the fact that today we actually can read the questions, that we actually have access to this whole interactivity.
Oh, there's a good question there. Part 2 with bass and drums coming up.
Oh, but that's Jimmy. That's Jimmy. That doesn't count.
But it's already
That's already.
recorded. Oh, they mean part 2, Essencia part 2. I like
Yeah.
Essencia 2.0.
Essential 2.0. Yeah, well, it has a ring to it. But yeah, it's going to be a heavy metal thing.
Essência Electric
Norwegian
Band.
death metal. Yeah, definitely. Oh, this is you showing off, Bruno.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody needs to play scales that fast.
That's Ramon.
Show off. I mean, Bruno, are you just trying to make people feel bad about themselves?
Look at Charlie.
Yeah, he does that. You know why? Because he can.
That's right.
Just because he can.
Indeed. Well, let's go on to track 3.
Yeah.
Which is a track that I personally know extremely well. And then She Smiles, which was originally recorded on Sojourn, correct? And your daughter Maya counted it off when she was 2.
Yeah.
And the counting is important because this track is in 5.
Yeah.
And so she counted 1, 2, 3,
4,
4. Cinco. Oh, it's
She
so
barely
cute.
she barely makes it to 5. I was like, okay, you can do it. Yeah, just kidding.
But this intro, so amazing. You know what I think is so amazing about this track, this arrangement that you've done, because I'm so familiar with the original, and I'm so familiar with seeing you play it in a, you know, like a larger group setting. But it's almost, you've just created this really watery kind of impressionistic kind of effect that both the piano does it and the guitar does it. Because, you know, the tune, I mean, it's in 5. So it's, to me, it's almost like very vertical over something horizontal. And sometimes the horizontal flows above it, you know, so it's almost like, it almost feels like a classical piece to me now in this arrangement, to be honest. It's like a chamber group of 2 people.
Well, yeah. We had to come up with a way. First of all, a new incarnation of the song.
Yes.
But I wanted to keep certain aspects of it, not because I'm a control freak, which I am, but because, for instance, to tell a little bit about the story of this, I wrote this tune for my daughter, right? But I didn't want it to be like the stereotypical lullaby, or like everybody does, like a lullaby. I wanted it to be something that really portrayed her wits. Maya at that age was so funny and so unpredictable, like most kids are.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to do something in an odd meter, not too square, but also I wanted to take elements from kind of like cryptic elements from children's stuff. So I don't know if you remember Charlie Brown's theme.
Of course, the Vince Grohl.
So I use that. It's kind of like this guy there. So that's part of the original concept of it.
Oh, nice.
And of course the different. It gets dramatic in the at some point in the tune. It brings a little bit from the Venezuelan rhythms too. At some point it turns into a 6/8. So how can I keep all these elements from the original and still make something new? So that's when Bruno comes in, because we sat down and we created this whole watery thing.
Yeah.
I had already prepared some things that I do with my left hand when I do my own shows. I do some stuff with the left hand, like scales and runs. So between Bruno and me, it's like, well, why don't we orchestrate those so that we are both part of that movement, that linear movement that is going on while the melody is happening. So that's how the arrangement came to fruition. What's the word? Came to reality,
Fruition.
Fruition.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I just think it's remarkable, because I mean, I love it when things are rearranged, reharmonized, rethought. But I mean, I think it must be almost more difficult with the tune of yours that you've played so much, you've already recorded, Now you're doing it this in a new format. Like, you have to keep, you know, mining yourself for ideas. I mean, obviously, as you said, you know, you have Bruno, but it's still, I mean, that's just to constantly be rethinking something, you know, a composition like this, that's such a staple for you.
It's hard. It was hard for me to try to do something different with Otmaro's tunes, because they are so detailed. You know, yes. It's already so detailed, and everything so very well placed. You know, so it was hard to figure out what to do. Sometimes, we were talking. He was suggesting, "Oh, here you play this line and that line, and you do this and that." But I mean, it was hard to figure out what to do different from the originals, because the originals are really amazing. But that specific track, I love it.
Yeah, orchestrated. I mean, orchestration is. But yeah, you're right. I mean, the thing is that that's another thing that happened. It's like we had this idea of keeping the watery thing, but one thing is to think about it, and the other thing is to be able to play it and keep the melody.
Yeah, to be able to play it. It's a big deal.
So that was a little bit of a nightmare, but it happened. It happened all there. It's all live.
Yeah, and I think, wait, Bruno, have we already passed your solo in this, or is it coming now?
I think my solo was the first one.
It already
was the first one.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, because I mean, again, it just so when I was, you know, what a challenge to solo over some of this. Over those.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yes.
Oh my God, because it's so, you know, I mean,
it's just like, oh, that's.
Exactly. So I mean, one thing to just play the melody over, that's challenging enough, but then to solo.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the solo is even worse. Yes.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes. That's when you get the hatchet and cut your hand off.
I don't know. I got to the correct place.
I think you did. But okay, so should we? I mean, I would love to listen to all these tunes, but I think maybe
we have to move along.
I think maybe we gotta keep it moving. So
Paola Santoro is here. The ultimate goddess of Brazilian music is here with us. Paola. She's well, Adrianne. Nice. I have to admit, I have to share my heart. You are one of my favorite singers. You are my favorite English-speaking singer, but Paola, I have a space.
Look at the time. I have to be somewhere else.
No, Paola is great.
Okay. All right. You can share it. You can share the love. Oh, now we have to listen to this intro. Choose. And by the way, for people that are watching, part of the reason why I'm moving around so much is because Facebook Live has these new rules. And if you're too still, it thinks you're a picture. And so I'm kind of moving around so it knows that we're still here. But But OT, I think this might, this is for sure top 3 of my favorite of your compositions. For sure.
Wow.
If not number 1. But Bruno, that intro, because I know this tune so well, and on Sojourn it starts right.
Right on
it. Yeah. But Bruno, that intro, that, oh my God, I just bawled the first time I heard it. I feel my tear ducts activating right now just thinking about it. That intro is spectacular. It's gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's something that has a Minas Gerais mood for me.
Really, that intro?
Yeah.
Wait, you mean the intro or the whole?
The intro.
Yeah. Oh, it's.
Yeah, the tune has a little bit of a Minas de Canyon country feel.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's, and then OT, you wrote this for your late father, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
But actually, if I look at it in a little objective way, this could be probably the best rendition of this tune, because the name is called The Simple Life.
Oh, yeah.
And this is like the simplest, like boiled down essence of the song, with the rhythm, where you can feel the rhythm, but it's only 2 instruments. Everything's so clean. So now that I think about it, it's like, this is perfect.
Well, the record is called ESSêNCIA.
ESSENCE, yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
It is.
And one thing that I have to say is that this is a very classical oriented kind of progression. The way the chords are moving and intermodulating and all this is not like from the jazz language. It's more like a borrowed from the classical forms. And for me, throughout the years, it's always a challenge to improvise on my own tune. So the perfect solution was to let Bruno deal with it. So actually, it was a concerted thing. You know, I told him, okay, this is my tune. I love this tune, but let's do this. You are going to solo on this tune. You're going to be the only soloist on this tune.
Yeah.
And then in retaliation, he made me solo in his new song that I had no reference, totally new song that I didn't know, that we finished in the studio. So that was
the last day.
Yeah, the last day. He's like, okay, now you solo.
Like 3 a.m. I finished the song at 3 a.m.
Are you talking about Escultor?
Yeah.
Yes.
So in that one, he was like, okay, now you solo this one. He's like, oh my God. So
well, but what I think is so lovely, and we were talking about this privately before, what I just think is so beautiful, and again, it sort of goes back to that whole kind of notion of balance, I think. Like typically on this record, you got whoever's tune it is, whoever's composition it is, the other person will either do the intro or solo, or you know what I mean? And you guys are trading off like that, which I think is just, because then you bring your own sensibility to the other person's tune, you know, and since there's only 2 of you, you know, you can really balance each other off, you know, out like that. And then we can really, really hear the difference because there's only 2. So it's in much more sharp relief than it was, you know, if it was a whole band and like, oh, now the sax player is going to open and now, you know, whoever else, the violin player, whoever is going to open. But when it's just the 2 of you going back and forth, I can feel you. I can feel your spirits so clearly, you know, in this record because it's so stripped down. And by the way, when you said it was simple, I know what you mean. I know what you're getting at, but that's not simple. What are you talking about? That's very complex. That's a lot of notes, my friends.
That's it.
A lot of notes and a lot of chord changes.
A lot of chord changes.
You know what? There's something on Otmaro's music that I really like, the rhythmic details of the melodies. That one, if you look at that melody, I mean the places where the notes are attacked, you know, so ding, ding, so like the sixteenths, all those things. It gives the music a deep mood, a deep rhythm mood that I really like it, especially on that song.
Wow. Wow.
That's very true.
Well, oh,
Oh, nice.
is this what we have now?
Escutou.
Escutor, there it is.
Oh.
O Otmaro tava roubando, escrevendo a cifra em cima do negócio.
Right in the chord symbols.
Yes. That's not fair.
So Bruno literally finishes this song like at 3 in the morning. He's like, here it is. It's like, wow.
Was that the last song that you recorded?
I think so, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's one, definitely.
Nice. Well, wait, is it next? Is it next in our playlist?
Perfect.
Oh, it's not
Obrigado,
next
muito
in our
obrigado.
playlist.
It's not
No, but another one of Bruno's is Santa Clarita.
Santa Clarita.
Yes.
Oh yeah. You know, the two those that's because
Well, I should say Santa Clarita, dedicated to his friends in Cincinnati.
Otmar is so jealous, man. Just because I didn't write his name, because you know the o escultor de sons is dedicated to my luthier, the guy who who made my guitar.
But it's not dedicated to me. Where am I? Where am I in all of this? Bruno, where's my song? Where's mine?
That's what Otmaro said. And I just because I didn't write their names, because it's dedicated to Otmaro and Katina, Santa Clarita, but he wanted me to write their names under the title.
Yeah,
Otmaro, it's dedicated to you guys.
To my beautiful friends, such and such. No, just kidding.
It's about the Ralphs in Santa Clarita, where he got some good espresso.
And in this one, I did the intro for this one.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was the swapping there, huh?
volume lower. Wow, look at that. I'm amazing. Bruno, you know, Bruno and OT, I don't know what goes on, Bruno. When you stay with OT and Katina in Santa Clarita, I don't know what happens, but that is a sexy tune. That is a sexy
really
song. It's very sexy. That melody, I'm like, woo! So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sexy.
I'm not there. It's none of my business. But that is a very sexy tune.
I don't know what he thinks must go on in Santa Clarita. I don't know.
I mean,
What do you imagine?
and that little piano part right there. Oh my God. That's just absolutely gorgeous.
The one thing that I would like to say about this, I mean, you already said it. The composition is quintessential, sensual elegance. You know,
Yes.
that's something that is not easy. It's not. I mean, if you set your mind into doing, okay, I'm gonna do something sexy and easy. It doesn't come like this.
Yes.
That's something that, you know, just happens. You know, you gotta live it, you know. But for those of you musicians that are listening to this, the rhythmic part of the guitar, which seems to be something that is like, okay, we've heard that pattern a million times. It's not quite. I mean, the way he's carrying the rhythmic part of the guitar is so, it moves like the surface of water. You know, it's not like a steady pattern. That's a mistake that many people do when they study Brazilian music. They just learn a pattern. They just repeat it till death. And it's not like that. It's a pattern. That's a pattern that flows, that morphs, that moves. Sometimes it anticipates. Sometimes it plays on the beat. Sometimes. So that is that thing. When you're playing for that, when I'm playing a melody, and that's what I'm hearing, it's like, wow. It is like having a memory foam mattress, as opposed to, I don't know, sleeping on concrete, on a rock. Yeah. Yeah.
A concrete slab.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is what, I mean, someone like Bruno, that is not only a super virtuoso, but someone that knows, okay, this simple thing, this simple adjustment will make a world of a difference when you make those stretchings and the compression and stretching of a pattern. Know how it works, the inner workings. So that's not a coincidence, you know. So
yes. Yay, Bruno.
No,
Bruno,
serious.
do you want to talk a little bit about it in Portuguese?
Santa Clarita?
Why not?
Okay.
Now you can talk about what you do for real, and we won't. No.
That's what I'm gonna do. Essa música, na verdade, se eu não me engano, eu acho que eu fiz uma vez que o Otmaro e a Katina. Ah, eu já sei quando foi. Eu acho que foi. Você lembra quando você chegou no aeroporto? Você chegou você estava viajando para vários países tocando, aí você chegou meio desnorteado e aí eu sei que acho que foi naqueles dias que a gente estava ensaiando para fazer alguma coisa aqui e num daqueles dias eu fiz essa música. Acho que eu fiz até de uma vez, viu, para falar a verdade. E aí, assim, né, lembrando, né, das coisas que a gente tinha tocado quando eu tinha ido aí na casa de vocês e tal. E aí eu dei esse nome de Santa Clarita, né, que esse... É o quê? É um distrito? É um bairro, Santa Clarita?
Yeah.
Né? E, enfim, que é esse lugar meio que é a cara da Katina, né? Uma coisa meio fora da cidade, assim, e tal,
Sim.
perto da natureza, lugar mais com menos gente, assim, um lugar super astral. E acaba, eu vou te falar, rapaz, essa é uma das composições minhas que eu mais gosto, Santa Clarita, porque ela tem uns caminhos harmônicos, assim, menos óbvios, eu não sei, por algum motivo ela ficou de um jeito que é uma das músicas que, logo que eu fiz, assim, uma das músicas que eu mais gostei de ter feito foi essa.
Super sensual, man. Super, I mean, and elegant.
Essa não foi a intenção, especialmente assim, pensando em você, assim, eu não te acho tão sensual assim, entendeu? Mas de qualquer maneira, eu fico lisonjeado que você acha a música sensual.
No, I want to, you know, the reason why I want to emphasize the word sensual is because Adrian didn't see, when we were compiling all the videos to do this, there's a video of the studio when we were starting to do the arrangements. There's a video in which Katina is taking the video, right? And she doesn't find the way to do it. I forgot what it was. and you were next to me with the guitar. I think we can cut the audio because it started a new song. Yeah, and then in the video, Katina is like really like, I don't know how to do this, you know, I don't know. And I probably, but when you look at the video, you can tell that we've been trying to do this for a long time, right? So it's not working, and Katina is like, and I'm telling her like, but listen, but I told you this, I told you that, you know, it's like, and then you know you can see a little crescendo in the in the anxiety factor and the hostility, and then Bruno is frozen with the guitar, just looking at the camera. And I was looking at this video, and I'm laughing my ass off just watching this Bruno's face. There he is.
Oh wait, is this it?
Oh my God! No, is that the one?
He looks a little uncomfortable there. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, maybe. Oh, Katina. Okay, no, that's not the one. That's not the one.
Maybe we can change something like that too.
Yeah.
Let's do that too.
Well, the video that I'm talking about is from this same session of arranging, and it's so funny when you see Bruno's face. It's just pure gold in the middle of a domestic dispute.
So much for sexy. Well, actually, I just heard a little bit of our next track in there, didn't I? I heard a little bit of, you heard some living pictures.
Yeah, that's when we were changing some of the, changing the chords, changing the turnaround there.
Yeah. And Living Pictures was the first tune you wrote when you first came to LA, right? Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one extra chord. So you know it from the top.
Okay. Yeah. So this tune was the first tune I wrote here in LA. It's a 31 years old tune.
And it was inspired by Gismonti, right?
Well, yeah. I used to play in Alex Acuña's band, and we used to play one of Gismonti's tunes, Loro, which has this repeated note.
Yeah.
And then we used to play that song over and over and over. That was one of our signature tunes for that band. And
here comes that great rhythmic intro by Bruno.
Yeah. And then, you know,
Volume baixo.
Yeah, I'm thinking it louder. I'm thinking it louder. Oh, there. Concerts, I am always that jerk. I'm always always the jerk in the front row like this. I can't sit still. It's terrible. It's terrible. I'm doing it on purpose now so we don't get but it's not hard for me to do. And this tune in particular, oh my God, what a joyful piece of music.
This is what I mean. I have a serious problem because I get attached to certain tunes. So as I said, this is like one of the first ones that I wrote here.
Yeah.
Alex told me, man, we've been playing Gismonti's tune for too long. We need something like that. So I wrote this tune following pretty much that, you know, a little bit of the same elements and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then I got attached to this, and I love the song that I wrote for my daughter, and I love the song that I wrote for my father. So I always joke that, I mean, little by little, my shows are going to become like 4-hour shows because I will always have to play those 3 songs at least. No matter what else I decide to play, I'm going to have to always play those 3 songs, you know?
Well, they are pretty perfect. So I don't have a problem with
Listen, we have here, Paula is here. Vicky Fulop.
Felipe! Oh my God,
Felipe
Felipe!
Silveira.
Hi!
Amazing. I met my little genius brother. He's the little genius brother.
Yes.
Felipe Silveira. Amazing pianist, composer.
He's the best.
And Vicky Fulop, she's in charge of Players School of Music in Florida. Also, she's doing a great job, you know, in the educational front. Wow, thank you for being here. Thank you, really. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just writing Felipe.
There you are.
Nice. Yeah, this tune too. I was when you did it on Sojourn, did it have an intro or do you come? I think you come right in, don't you, with the melody on Sojourn?
Yeah, I think starts right on the melody. Yeah.
I think it does too. Which is what I think is also so interesting with these tunes that are so much, like you were saying, a fundamental part of not just your repertoire, but I mean who you are. And then you have to rework them. But I think, you know, in sort of the original recording, when they just come right in, but then now they have the intro, it's sort of like a different kind of
the intro frames it
Yeah.
differently. You know, it gives already a little bit of an idea of the landscape where it's gonna happen.
Exactly.
But also we added some extra turnarounds and extra little details so that it wouldn't be exactly the same. But this tune has been versioned already. This is the 3rd version of this song because we recorded it with Alex too.
Ah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And there's also something a little bit Baroque about this too. A little bit like Scarlatti or something. Just a little. I don't know what it is. Is this the one? Because when you solo, Oti, a lot of times you do a lot of kind of Baroque stuff.
Yeah. It's hard not to. For me, I don't know why. Yeah. But because the progression for me, it yields for some of these connections, like 2-handed connections.
Yeah.
So I do that quite often.
Yeah, I can just hear that on top of this.
Very clever observation.
Wait, excuse me.
No, you need your magnifying glass. The magnifying
yes,
glass.
I've been hiding my magnifying glass.
Very clever observation.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this tune. And it has such a great title too, Living Pictures.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful, poignant tune because it evokes, you know, because you're in a new place and you're excited to be there, but you miss your friends and family back home, you know, and then they're still, and this, you know, you wrote this before there was no FaceTime. It costs like $100.
No email.
No text.
Yeah,
you have to send a carrier pigeon.
Physical letters. Yeah, I used to write physical letters to my friends. And actually, the title is because I live in this little room, right? I used to share an apartment with roommates. So I had my little room. And then I had this board in which I had all the pictures from all my friends.
Yeah.
And that's the company that I had. Basically, the memories, and so I used to write the letters and look at the pictures, and so live in pictures.
Yeah. Yeah.
How original.
It is. It is. Well, you know what it is? It's universal because anybody that's moved around and been in a different place can relate to that and that sense of wanting to stay connected. You know, and Bruno, you have lived in a bunch of different places. You've been in Cincinnati, you've been in New York, Vitoria, Brasilia, Campinas, and now you're doing all. Wait a second, but Sao Paulo too. But Bruno, I have a little bone to pick with you. Because not only do you have an undergrad, you have 2 grad, you already have a doctorate. Now you're doing postdoc. When will you stop? When will you stop? When? When will you be satisfied is what I want to know.
Is there an end to this madness?
Really, Bruno? You can't know everything. You can't take all the degrees. That's very selfish. It's very selfish.
It is. I mean, I see it as an opportunity to learn different stuff. So this time, I've been teaching at the university for some time, and now I had this opportunity to get this leave. And as I already had the doctorate, I couldn't ask for a doctorate, so that's my only one option was postdoctorate.
Right.
So yeah, and now we were talking about the things that changed at the beginning of the pandemic. So we weren't able to manufacture the CD, and the other thing that really changed that I had just moved to New York for my study, and when I got there. I moved. I left left the apartment I was living at, left all my stuff at my mom's place because the apartment was rented in another state, and then I moved to New York. I got there on March the 5th. So I only had time to go to the university there, the Queen's College, and to sign something and show my passport just to say I was there, and
your handprints.
So that kind of thing. They had my information on the system. The following day, the school is closed.
Oh.
And then the craziness started. Then, fortunately, I already had a flight scheduled to play Manaus at the end of March. The festival was canceled, but I was able to travel back to Brazil at least. So I'm as everybody. I'm doing everything remotely since then.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'll be back to New York at some point to finish it. But I mean, so it was really big change on my plans.
Oh, yeah, I would say so. But it worked out. I'm glad you had that flight and you were able to get out.
Yeah, me too. They were canceling all the flights. And fortunately, my flight was through a Brazilian airline because they canceled all the American.
Yeah, of course.
Airlines.
Oh, here we go. Nice. Perfect segue to our next track. Perfect. I did that with my mind. Terra Batida, did I say it right? Terra Batida?
Terra Batida, yes. Literally it means part earth, but
Yeah.
somebody at some point somebody told me it would be more appropriate to say country road. That's the
Yeah, or like clay. I looked it up. There's so many different variations of a translation. I saw clay, I saw sort of earthen, but it just gives that feeling of like earth being outside.
Yeah, because when we use this expression to refer to those roads without asphalt. The
Oh, we say
country
dirt road. We say
dirt
dirt road.
road, yeah.
Dirt road.
dirt road.
Yeah, that's what we say. Yeah, it's
So,
such
yeah.
a beautiful melody. Oh,
Yeah, and you know what? This song, I wrote it to play originally to play. I had this gig with another pianist called Sidney Ferraz in many years ago, and we had this steady gig in a place. So I wrote this song to play as a duo with him that time.
oh,
But
nice.
then, yeah. So, but when I recorded on my first CD, I recorded as a band.
Yeah.
And only last year, I had the opportunity to record it the original way as a duo with
Oh,
Otmaro.
that's really interesting.
Let me ask you, is Sidney Ferraz, didn't he study here in Los Angeles?
No, if he studied there, no. He
No?
studied
Ah.
he studied at Unicamp, the same place.
Okay, yeah, because I met someone with a similar name here, Brazilian, that also studied here keyboards at MI many years ago. Yeah.
No, he's living in São Paulo for many years now.
Yeah, I'm happy to announce that I took that fabric that you see in the background, that fabric, and I made my latest suit with that fabric.
Did you?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's. I thought it would be look good in my next show.
Yeah.
You know, I think we should. Well, this one. When this one is done, I'm going to think of the actual album track. I'll think of it. It's going to magically pop up. But I'm being reminded by the genius drummer and engineer Jimmy Brownlee, a wonderful human being, that people listening need to get that album download because Facebook is compressing it into a mono sound. And
yes.
So this is not the superior listening experience. So you're not getting all the richness, the virtuosity, all that beautiful mixing that Bruno was complimenting.
Yeah.
But it's still a beautiful tune. This one is so just lush and lyrical and romantic, but also it's very cinematic. It's very cinematic.
Yes.
It's really, it's like a film score. It really is.
You can clearly imagine New York in front of you. Just kidding.
I see an industrial wasteland.
Yeah, it's like a post-apocalyptic. Yeah, like Mad Max, kind of like
Totally.
Part 5.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, this will be like the most Mineta of all the tunes, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a coincidence. A great friend, great pianist from Minas Gerais just showed up. Heine.
Oh, nice. You know, and it was interesting too with the arrangement on your original recording, Bruno, from 2010. And then also I saw...
29. 09.
Oh, it was 09. And then I also watched you did I think a concert, a Sept concert online that was
Right.
filmed.
Yeah, that's 2010.
That was 2010, okay. So, but when you did it originally, I think because you're trading the melody back and forth between piano and guitar, even on the record, at the beginning of the record, it is a duo for like a minute and a half. But I think everything is flipped, right? Because I think on this record, OT starts it. No, on this record, you start it. But on the other record, on your original record, piano starts it. Am I correct? I just remember it being flipped.
It's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, it was something like that. I just thought it was so interesting because it's such a beautiful interplay between the two instruments anyway.
Yeah.
You know, and it almost doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who starts it. You know, I almost imagine
it's kind of a conversation. That's right. That's
I almost imagine two people just kind of sitting there, and then everybody knows each other's lines or part, and then whoever wants to start it just starts it. You know, it's just very free flowing that way. But there's just such a sense of movement to it for me. You know, whether it's in the band setting. And were there strings as well on your record? Was it orchestrated?
No, not that track.
Not this one?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's some tracks with strings, but not that one.
Yeah, but it's
That's
really
just a quartet.
Well, I'm glad to announce that Paula Santoro, who is a legitimate Mineira, she says that yes, she certifies that it has the Mineira
Thank you so
sound.
much, Paula, for approving the approach.
Nice. Well, see, all this talk of Minas Gerais is making me hungry because that's the best food I've ever had in my life.
Oh,
So I
man.
want to have some Minas food, like right now.
Yeah, that's
And
Good
really
stuff.
high level food.
Oh, ridiculous. So good.
again, Jimmy Brownlee reminds, you already said it, but I'm going to say it again.
Yes, you can say it again.
Actually, I'm going to say it in Spanish. You know,
Bravo.
la transmisión de Facebook, de Zoom a Facebook, el sonido se comprime, lo comprime mucho, ¿no? Entonces, lo que se está escuchando no es ni una fracción de la calidad del sonido del disco en realidad. Entonces, por favor, hagan el download del disco. Está en iTunes y realmente es una de las cosas de las que me siento más orgulloso, es de la calidad de sonido, la calidad de mezcla que Jimmy Brownlee y Ramón Huerta en el equipo técnico lograron. Entonces, y así apoyan nuestro esfuerzo.
Do you want to quickly say that and reiterate that in Portuguese, Bruno?
Say what?
Do you want to say that as well in Portuguese for our Brazilian friends?
Ah,
you think you
sim,
got
For me, just for me.
o Otmaro estava dizendo aí que a qualidade no Facebook das músicas fica muito prejudicada, né? Que o Facebook comprime tudo. Então, quem quiser, o disco está disponível aí em todas as plataformas para download ou streaming. E agradecendo aí o trabalho maravilhoso que fizeram o Ramon Huerta, que foi o técnico de gravação, e o Jim Branley, que fez a mixagem e masterização. Trabalho fundamental aí para a gente chegar no resultado final, um disco aí que deixa a gente tão orgulhoso.
Yeah. Our friend Pete O'Connell just joined. Hey, Pete. Thank you for being with us.
No, it's the same. It's the same.
Tomorrow, somebody was asking something about email. I'm not sure if
I didn't read that comment, but the video that we're watching now is from the session where we're figuring out our take at this ultra well-known bolero, right? And we're trying to figure out a way to come up with an interesting way to present different introduction, transitions, reharmonizations. Okay, I'll shut up then.
for me, just for me, just for me. And then this is what I need.
You know, and it's interesting because
Go back.
you know, this is a Cuban composer,
It's
right?
my
Cesar
solo here,
Portillo
right?
de la
I
Luz,
just
I
need to
think,
Yeah.
combine
the composer.
what you're gonna do.
Yep.
But Astrid Gilberto did it and popularized it, and she sang it in Spanish. She did not. She sang it in the original with the original lyrics too. But it does have. There's a Brazilian connection there, I guess, because of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, just say we need to combine.
Yeah. So this
No, it's the
this
same.
is a
It's the
song.
same. It's the same. This.
No, just say to avoid two.
Yeah. Oh,
Two
yeah.
of us.
This is a song that has been covered a million times, as you can
Yes.
imagine. So first of all, the fact that we wanted to do, okay, it's going to be a duo thing. You know, we don't have the right. I mean, not the right. The usual bolero setting with the bongos and the bass and this and that. So again, by the fact that it's totally stripped down to just like the bare the essentials of the sound, you know, the dialogue guitar, which is so proper for the style, but also we wanted to come up with a different transitions, you know, not to do the same take progression, and so we kept modulating. Each solo is in a different key, and then we came up with this different introduction, and you know, so that was what that video is showing right there.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean that is tricky to take a tune that's been recorded so much by so many different people for such a long time and really make it your own. And then this one, I think, you know, we were talking about this before as well. I feel like this one I feel like you kept the spirits of the original composition, you know, as
Yeah.
I feel like you really were very attuned to that, but like you said, came up with different connective tissue, you
Yeah,
know, for
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
But,
I think it's important. Well, you know, one of the things about the arranging work is that you can be, as an arranger, you have discretion over how new the composition can sound. You can
Yes.
make an old composition sound completely new, or just design a new dress and people will still recognize it. So you are in control of how disguised, how concealed that this tune will be.
Yes.
And you know that I am a militant of really like actually owning the tune when I'm gonna arrange, you know. So I don't, because again there have been so many versions of tunes, of these tunes, for instance, that you know, that my first impulse is to, okay, I'm gonna just do my thing, and I change everything. I change the meter, I change the harmonization, I change the point of the tonal point, angle of perspective, you know. And as I did with the arrangement for Garota Ipanema in Lado B,
Yes.
which totally transformed it.
Nominated for the Grammy in
really
2019.
nice.
Yeah. So, but in this case, we both agreed. We talked about this, you know, and we both agreed that it's such a wonderful standard. Delirio is a standard form. It became a standard, like pretty much like Misty, pretty much like Body and Soul. It's a standard from the. So we wanted to still keep it in its most original form and do the necessary arranging, as you said, as connective tissue, you know, and making the presentation eventful in terms of different modulations and these kind of things.
Yeah. Well, that is also a perfect segue to talk about Obsession, which I'm a
Obsession.
little bit obsessed with this arrangement.
Our friend, my compadre, and my little friend and brother, older brother from when we met when I was this size. My friend Aaron Serfati is also joining.
Oh, Aaron is here. Hi, Aaron.
Yeah, and he's been part of what I do musically in some way or another for the last 40 years at least.
But OT, you're not 40, so that's not possible.
No, we were part of an in vitro experiment. we made music from petri dish to petri dish, basically.
Well, I think Obsession. I'm mentally queuing it up in my mind. But this one for me, well, we can listen. Let's listen. See how I do that? So you were talking about making an old song sound new, and that is exactly what you did here. This tune is written in 1935. There's no way with those harmonies. They hadn't invented those harmonies. They never heard of Debussy or Ravel. No, they didn't know. But it's just, oh man, what a beautiful, beautiful arrangement of this tune. I was really knocked out.
Thank you.
It's really,
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes. And I do know, I can speak personally to how you write and harmonize and choose really, I seem to remember a very crunchy thing that you wrote. I think it was in Lavadera for Lado Bay.
Oh, yeah.
You wrote some ascending triads that were like a D,
I tormented.
whole half scale, and you stuck in the 4. And so that we were singing, I was on the minor second somewhere. I don't know if I was the top note or the bottom note, but a little part of me will always hate you for that.
I tormented the background singers that.
Yeah, I was brutal,
session.
man. Brutal.
But not only that, I made you sing it live,
over and over
in Brazil,
repeatedly.
I
in
kept
front of
torturing
Brazilians.
you.
There were Brazilians there. They
Yeah.
know.
You know,
Yes,
in every picture that they take from you in Brazil, you appear like the painting, the scream. Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
I love those
No,
clusters.
but that was great. The
vocal
vocoder
clusters.
thing.
You know what? That was a blast. That was a blast. We went from having a whole choir of 6 female singers to 2. It was Patricia and me, and but with the help of the vocoder, I was amplified.
Enhancing.
Oh, yes.
Our friend Rosa Maria is here.
Ah,
Rosa
Nice.
Maria, which in Portuguese is Rosa Maria.
awesome. Absolutely.
Rosa.
Yeah.
Rosa.
Rosa. Thank you for being here. Obrigado por estar. Bem-vinda para estar com a gente aqui. Muito feliz de te ver aqui. Com a
Estávamos
gente.
falando do samba pro Toninho, Rosa, composto da Chorus Music School.
Wait, is this Rosa that I know?
Yeah,
Oh, hi,
Yeah.
Rosa.
yeah, the Campinas.
Oh, she's the
ella
best.
tiene scuola de música en Campinas.
Wonderful human
Eh,
and beautiful human. Gorgeous.
Yes, yes. But yeah, and one of the greatest supporters every time I go. You know, I kept telling people when I go to Brazil, it's like, you know, it's family. It's family. It's true family, and it's that sense of friendship that you know, it makes me feel like, you know, I actually poke Katina. It's like, we have to go to Brazil. We have to go. I mean, it's something that my sister needs, and people like Rosa and like Tukung, Felipe, of course, my family, Martinho. But these are people that are so dear to me, and it makes such a wonderful stay when we're there, you know. So
Yes. There's nothing like it. You know, whenever I visit my parents, you know, in Georgia, where I am right now, but I always cry when I leave my parents because I'm a big baby. But I cry when I left Katina's parents. That's the first time I've cried leaving someone else's parents. I was a wreck. Yeah, being in Brazil, there's nothing like it. Absolutely nothing like it.
there's a lot of love. There's a lot of love.
Yes, yes. Well, it's just such a warm culture. Music is everywhere, you know, and yeah, I was really fortunate to be able to experience it, and to be able to experience it going and playing music with, you know, Brazilian artists was just absolutely incredible. Bruno, you want to talk about this arrangement, getting to play on an OT reharmonization?
Yeah,
Can you hear
actually, I can, but I still would like to talk about Delírio, because I mean that was just a blast, you know, to because I remember that wasn't part of the repertoire we were planning. We had some I mean idea of the songs we would pick up to play, but when we were rehearsing, and I mean, the little was always in my mind. You know, I was thinking, man, I'm not playing this. I mean, there was this mood, and of course, I had seen Otmaro playing before. Some I mean, a lot of stuff that had to do with the music from the South America and from Cuba and from that area close to the ocean. And I thought, man, that's going to, and I'm a particular fan of boleros. I just love it, and of course I love the way he plays it. So I said, man, what about if we play, I mean, some well-known tune, you know, some bolero, because we have this lots of originals, and nobody knows our songs. So it would be good to have something well known and that represents this kind of exchange of musical cultures and jazz and Brazilian music and his music. So I think I started playing that song, and later when we were playing at Vibrato, Otmaro was speaking to the audience, and he said that when I suggested that song, he remembered the time he played in some hotel or some solo piano kind of background music setting. And so I mean, I really like having that song on our CD, because I mean, it's a song that I love, and I love the despite it, as he said, it was recorded a million times. I think we got a nice mood with that, and always when I actually I never listened to my records, but when I get to listen to something of the CD, that's the one I love.
Oh, this is the one. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's that very just sensual, elegant, you know, it kind of harkens back to just a different time period. And especially now, listening to this now, this is very soothing. It's just really lush and gorgeous. Beautiful, Bruno.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. You know, it's sad because I think we actually skipped one of your songs. I think we saw it in one of the home videos, Escultor. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
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 Escutou de
Yes,
sons.
which, because you know, you just mentioned that you love boleros. And so this Escultor doesn't have a little bit of like kind of a chorino feel, but also a
The
little
choro,
bit
yeah, it's a choro.
Yeah,
choro,
yeah.
kind of modern
Oh,
choro film.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a great song. You know what's so
Yeah.
great about that too? I would not want to sing that melody because that melody is all over the place, but it's so melodic. It doesn't sound
Yeah.
like it's clearly a melody. You know, it's
Yeah.
not just like, oh, I threw in a bunch of notes. It's got
Yeah.
a melodic line to it, but it's hyper advanced. I mean, maybe I could sing it, but I don't feel like it right now. But, but the thing that I think is so interesting too, we have Obsession, which is from 1935, but sounds new because of the amazing arrangement by OT. But then you have this brand new song by you, but which could
It's
have
channeling
been
that.
written in 1935.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
that is channeling this vibe. It's
Absolutely
vibe. Yeah,
channeling it. Yeah, because you have such a love for these
Yeah.
forms and for this style.
And
But
this is, and that's the melody that he came up with at 3 a.m.
Get out.
That's it. Yeah, that's right.
And then
I
you know
feel
it's
sick.
like, and then I'm like trying to. I mean, when you read it, when you read that kind of stuff, you have like a couple of cups of coffee,
Or wine.
or yeah, you know, in the morning, you know, first thing in the morning. Oh, this is what you came up with. Okay, thank you very much. Then you know, a couple of coffee, but it is the fact that you know you just don't want to read it. You want to play it like you have played it for a long time. Yeah.
Yes.
So
That's true.
so and I remember one of the issues was coming up with that little interlude that it's very brief, but it's a really cool detail that Bruno came up with, creating an interlude in the middle of a song, and in a way it's tailored. I would dare to say, is a little mini tribute to a work that Cesar Camargo Mariano did with Elio Del Miro in a very iconic album named Samambaya, in which
Somebody really likes that iconic record.
yeah, hey.
I did that with my
Yeah,
lines.
yeah. So indeed, that iconic record, they do this kind of like a orchestrated interludes between the guitar and the piano, and then I suggested to Bruno, it's like it would be nice to have like because I'm a
Oh, yeah,
fan.
that's right. Yeah,
I'm a
Otmaro was
fan.
asking for something like that. That's right.
I'm a fan of Cesar, and then Bruno came up with this interlude. He worked on it during the nighttime, and then he comes up with this interlude. It was great, except that I had to play the melody, which was like really eventful, and then I had to segue into the solo, which is not the easiest. I mean, harmonically, it's pretty deceiving, and then from the solo, I had to segue straight into this interlude.
That's
So, yeah, so my picture of the day was that the script.
Wow. Well, yeah. I mean, that's a tricky one. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with both of you because Bruno, just because you wrote it doesn't mean it's necessarily easy to play.
No, I can't play that. That's what Otmaro's playing.
Well, there you go.
It's
There
a
you
great
go.
tune. It's a
There
great
you
tune.
go.
I really enjoy it. And when we did it live, also in some first in our gig, it's a lot of fun because live you're not only like limited by the time. You can take several choruses and you can think a little bit, with a more space to think about and to make a contour of the solo.
Right.
In the studio recording, I was like,
There we
oh
go,
my god,
right.
oh my god, here it comes, the interlude. Oh my god, will I land in the right note?
And you know what, man? That guy who's, I forgot his name. He's a bassist, right? The guy who's doing the sound at some first.
Oh, Dave
That's
Robert.
Dave
Yeah,
Robert. Yeah, Dave.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a great coincidence because he told me he studied in New York with one of my best friends in the U.S., Richard Bucas, at the new school, and we were chatting, and he said, "Oh man, I studied at the new school." I said, "Man, I have a great friend there."
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Dave does a beautiful job at Sam First, and I know that he's doing streaming events now. But that's
Yep.
a beautiful room. That's a great room.
That's
It
Dave
was
Robert right
perfect
there
for-
behind the piano.
That's right. There he
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah. But that was a great room for a duo show too. Very, very just warm and intimate, and it's
Yeah.
it's got a very sophisticated feel too. And this music is sophisticated, and for the Grammy voters that may be watching, you
Hey.
may see Essencia and tracks,
Vote on us.
as we said, pop up in some different categories. So yes,
Yeah.
so hopefully you will give this fabulous record some attention. But we should also mention there's a few things that we should mention. There it is, Essencia. We should mention the SOS Brazil Music campaign that Cristina and Amaro have done.
Yeah, this is
Okay, you want to talk about that?
well, yeah, this is an initiative that Katina had with channeling through some contacts in Brazil to come up with financial support for musicians in Brazil. We have been pretty blessed here in the United States. Actually, I have to admit that the private initiatives for supporting musicians and artists during this pandemic have been really, really great and really
Yes.
unexpected.
The Grammy Foundation among
Grammy
them.
Foundation,
Yes.
the Artist Relief, the Jazz Foundation of America. However, in Brazil, there's not such a thing. And these people, some of these people I'm talking about are the people that have actually created the sounds that have affected our way of playing, our way of writing music. And some of these people are actually in a position right now in which they're having to sell their instruments to pay for their rooms, or it's really sad. This So Katina came up with this initiative, and together with some contacts in Brazil, and with a contact here from a nonprofit organization in the United States, to channel funds directly from this campaign to musicians in Brazil. And the I believe the campaign ends pretty soon, pretty soon. So please
Yes.
continue your support. If you haven't done it, only $1, whatever you can give, is gonna go a long way.
Yes. SOSBrazilmusic.com. You can see the graphic right up there. And then there's also a couple of other things you've been doing. Another thing that you've been doing, Oti, with Katina, is these Brazilian music workshops for singers, which I have been a part of, which are absolutely fantastic.
Well, yeah, that is. Well, I have to. I'm here on behalf of Katina, but also I'm part of it. I'm part of the
Yes,
system.
yes, it's her
Yeah,
baby.
yeah,
Absolutely, it's her.
yeah, it's her baby.
Yes.
And we thought it's important for singers to have a true immersion in the language, not necessarily to speak it, but to really pronounce it well, and pronounce it from the perspective of a singer, of the song melodies, which is different. The way you are gonna connect the words is different if you talk it, you speak it, or if you sing it. So Katina is very, very detailed about giving all this material, these instructions, and I think it's a wonderful, wonderful course. And then I provide some tracks. I recorded some tracks for people to actually practice their homework and their final presentation. And then we do the critique. It's very nice. It's been super nice.
No, I mean, as somebody that took it, I can speak. I mean, not only is Katina one of my best friends, but she's an amazing teacher and so loving and detail oriented, as you said, and really helps. Brazilian Portuguese, I speak a couple of other languages, but Brazilian Portuguese is a very, very difficult language to pronounce. I think probably particularly for Americans. And it's such a beautiful language, and it has idiosyncrasies depending on what part of the country the speaker is from. And just to have access to somebody that not only is so knowledgeable about the language and the phonetics and where everything is placed in your head, literally, but also can sing it and help you with phrasing and knows the history. I mean, she knows these songs inside and out. So it's a really, really valuable class. And then to have you providing the tracks is pretty amazing too. And then you're also doing Show Me That.
Oh, well, yeah, Show Me That. That's my baby.
Yep.
And I'm taking advantage of the lockdown. And I was thinking, what would I do what would I ask the people that I really admire? If I had the chance to have someone in the same room with me for a long time, and what would I do? What would I ask? So I came up with this idea of doing an interactive experience in which I am with the musicians in the same studio, where of course keeping social distancing, but then I actually ask them particular questions about their playing or about their concept, stuff that I always wanted to know. So it's a total win-win situation for me. I actually stopped them and say, "Hey, wait a second. What was that? Show me that. Show me that." That's every musician's dream. So I'm making this available to everybody now.
And then you can download some of the older ones from your website. Am I correct about that?
You can watch it. There's links from the old ones on my website and also on my YouTube channel.
Okay, cool, excellent. And you've done 4 already, right?
Yeah, I've done 4, and these are the upcoming 4. I'm really excited about this lineup.
Yeah, no, this is fantastic. And then
Yeah.
as far as the Brazilian workshop goes for singers, when is the next one and where can people sign up for it?
Well, the way to get this information will be through Katina's website,
Okay.
katinadeluna.com.
KatinaLuna.com.
And I am in charge of saying yes, dear. That's all I can do.
That's a good
But,
husband. That's good.
no, it's her baby, and she's so hands-on in everything. Like the design, the graphics, and in her website everything is very detailed, and it's a 2-day. It's a 2 days experience. The first day she lays out the whole material, the theory, and then the second day is the performance. So I think it's great.
Yes. And then Bruno, I just saw you on Talentos Brasil. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
When was that? When was that filmed?
That's a TV show.
Yes.
I did it last year, and
Obviously,
what happens
pre-pandemic, yes.
Yeah, before the pandemics, and we had this great guys recording and mixing the audio. So I've been putting one of the videos, of course, was broadcasted last year, but I just finished today uploading the 10 tracks, the 10 videos to my YouTube channel this Saturday, and so it's all there with high quality audio now,
Nice.
and it's youtube.com/Bruno Mangueira.
And also,
And
can they
also-
link from your website if they go to brunomangueira.com?
Yeah, my website.
Okay,
There's a YouTube link on my website. Sure. And there's also a new online kind of masterclass that I recorded last year with a guy who does a great job with online workshops, and so he invited me to do one, and so I did the whole thing only about Brazilian grooves on guitar.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
And can
it's
we link to
32
that from
I
your
think
website
I
too?
think actually I need to update my website. I'm not sure if it's already there, but if anybody goes to my Facebook page or my Instagram profile, it's there. And so I think there are 32 lessons about this kind of tricky stuff to play.
Would it be
The
helpful for
rhythms.
pianists at all?
Oh,
Hell
definitely.
yeah.
All right,
Hell
then.
yeah.
The only thing is that it's in Portuguese.
But
So
what? Look, I intuitively understand Portuguese, so I'll know what you're
looks
saying.
looks like the platform has a automatic translation to other languages, but I don't know how accurate they are.
Or maybe you could get like Morgan Freeman or somebody to overdub you in English. There it is, brunomangueira.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my
Portuguese and-
website. Oh, the only thing that my
There's a
website
familiar
has
face.
is Otmaro's pictures.
Yes, and that picture was taken by our good friend Jay Matsueda.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it's great.
Jay has the magic eye. The magic eye.
Yes, he does. Yes,
Yeah,
does.
he has done. Jay has done my last. He did Sojourn too.
Yeah,
He did Sojourn cover too,
he did.
and
He
he's
did.
a very in demand photographer here, and
Yes, he
overall nice guy.
Beautiful human being. Yes, he is.
Yeah,
Yes, he
yes.
is.
One of my, and he's a magic enthusiast. You
Yes,
know
he
that?
is.
He's a
But-
member.
Of course, I've been to the Magic Castle with him
Of course,
many times.
So when I was a magic member, a magician member, Jay wanted to be a member too. He said, "How can I be a member?" He said, "Well, you can be a a civilian member, and he's still a member of the Magic Castle,
I know.
and one of the greatest supporters of the magic arts too.
Yes.
And my only audience. Every time I do a trick, Katina rolls her eyes like, okay, whatever.
I think you need to get. I think maybe you need to have an Otmaro Ruiz magic YouTube channel.
Probably that's gonna be the next series.
You can play a little piano.
No, the next series is gonna be called "Don't Show Me That."
Exactly. Brilliant.
But listen,
all right, guys, unless
talking about that, the grooves that Bruno was. Well, it's great that she's playing this cut.
You mean I am from my mind?
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. It's great that this
I thought of it.
playing,
yes,
because I was going to talk about it. Bruno was saying, talking about the grooves, right? About these videos that he's doing. So when I recorded, when I composed this song, I had this groove in my mind, and I called it, and the references, the stylistic references that I have, I gave it my name based on what I know, right? And then, so the rhythm is this and that. And then he was like, oh, yeah, that's the Javan vibe.
Javan, yeah.
Yeah, Javan, that's the Javan rhythm. He's like, okay, yeah, I learned something new, Yeah, so, because some of these patterns are in, right in the limit, they don't quite belong to a specific style, they have elements of this, element of that. Same thing with Escultor de Sons. It's a choriño, but I mean, it has a more contemporary feel to that, to it too, so it's hard to pretty much like pinpoint it,
Yes.
Yeah.
I think, unless I'm looking to see, every time I look down, by the way, guys, I'm checking I'm looking at the page, but I want to see, unless anybody has a burning question, we'll pause for questions, but unless somebody has a burning question. Oh, Cecily Gardner has just joined us. Hi, Cecily.
Cecily, great singer.
We're wrapping up.
Yeah.
But unless anybody has a burning question, I think or unless you guys have something else you want to say. Unless any Grammy voters would like to listen to another song.
Hey, yeah. Yeah, so, but okay.
Wait, I'll turn it down in my mind. Hold on. Turning it down. It's not working. Oh, there it goes.
Okay.
Let's see if anybody has any questions. So far, no. Oh.
Well.
Is this, what does pão de queijo mean? Does that mean?
Pão de queijo. Pão de queijo.
Oh, sorry, I said that wrong. Pão de
cheese
queijo.
bread.
Oh, cheese bread. I wasn't cheese bread.
Come on.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I want cheesy bread and I don't have it. Guys, do you have anything else you want to say?
I think we have pretty much covered everything, right?
Bruno, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's late Brasilia time.
Yeah, it's almost midnight.
It's getting late. Bruno needs to get his beauty sleep.
Yeah. So we have covered everything.
I think we had a good conversation. Bruno, do you want to say anything important to anybody?
Aaron is asking. There's Aaron Serfati was asking if there's a second album coming up. So, I guess so. There's always the need to keep expressing and to keep learning. And from someone like Bruno, I have threatened him many times to make him not only projects with him, but to make him part of my projects too. We've talked about that when I go to Brazil, because he knows my music, and we have played my music with a band and Bruno, and the sound that he brings into my compositions is yet another twist. So it will always be a great experience to do a second album, a third album. It's all good. So
Yes.
we have to wait until things open up and just get it rolling.
The only thing that I think you need to add some background vocals with vocoder on the next
With
one.
two drums, Jim says.
Yeah, you have to have drums.
Two
No
drums.
Oh,
bass,
my
no
teacher,
bass, no bass, just drums.
Beloved teacher Lilian Carmona just came in. Thank you so much for being here,
Aw. And for the
Professor.
people that came in late, OT is this going? This will be this.
She was
is
practicing.
recorded.
She just stopped practicing.
That's no
practiced-
excuse.
yeah, she
that's,
practiced
that's a
until
terrible excuse.
11:30 every
Nobody
day.
cares. No, I'm kidding. But OT, can people that came in late, will you upload this to your Facebook?
Well, that's a good question, because as you know, we had some technical difficulties at the very beginning.
Yes, we did.
And this was like the emergency solution to go straight to the news feed from my page. So I don't know where this gets stored.
It
I don't
says
know.
recording. I'm looking at it. It says recording.
Well, it's being recorded on Zoom, right? So
Yeah.
but not the comments, not with the comments. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna, of course, this video, I can from Zoom, I'm gonna upload it to my YouTube channel for sure.
Okay, perfect. So anybody that may have come in late or came in early and had to leave, they can experience our wonderful banter and conversation and some beautiful music, talking about food.
Yes, food.
And so just to say something about the idea of doing something else, it's always great pleasure to make music with Otmaro.
Yes.
He's an amazing musician, arranger. And besides that, I have a very special connection with his way of making music. So I hope we can make other projects in the near future.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yes.
And now it's we have to keep. We already opened the box.
In the safe future.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the vaccinated future.
The vaccinated future. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you everybody for being with us. It really means a lot to us that you spend this time with us. It went like really much longer than expected. And again, 1,000 apologies for the technical difficulties. And thank you, Bruno, for the music, for your friendship,
Thank you.
for the good vibes. Thank you for reminding me of what amazing ties I have in my wardrobe. Thank you. Thank you, Adrianne, for being here with me and for being such a
Thank you so much,
Super
Adrian and Katina.
and Katina,
Yes. Katrina.
my love and my sidekick forever, for helping us with this. And she wanted to stay anonymous, but she forgot to erase her name from her window. So hey.
Oh, wow.
No, but I think it's a hidden name.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I
He's very
think only.
mysterious.
Oh well.
Yeah, because
Oh,
I
that's-
think
that's right.
because you are looking at Zoom. It's not on
Oops.
Facebook.
Oops.
Oh.
Oops.
OT, you just blew her cover.
I blew. Okay. Now we need Bruno here to be in the middle of another domestic dispute.
That's always fun. All right, so now I'm gonna think of a way how this gracefully ends. I don't know how this works. I'm gonna do the magic. How does it happen? I think we should dance it out. Come on, Bruno. Come on, let's go. You're Brazilian. I know you can dance. Yes.
I can dance, but after
Yeah, here we go.